So, let me guess. You want insane DPS and the ability to melt through anything you see with a control build. Well, this is the wrong class for you, so if you're expecting that, please get out. Trickster's not generally for PVE, this is just mainly PVE guide. So, yeah. Okay, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you still, you're fine with it not doing insane DPS. Obviously, you won't be able to be doing, the same amount of DPS as, an assassin or a berserker. But you can still do crazy DPS, and I will show you guys today in this build how to do it. So first of all, I'm just gonna start off with telling you each of the Trickster moves. So I don't have all of them equipped on me right now, so I'm just gonna use the skill reset tune real quick. Okay. So your first ability does is it just shoots 3 colorful bubbles out in a cone formation. This ability is very good up close. It's like a shotgun ability. As you can see, it also slows down the opponent, but I'm just killing them too fast. You can't really tell. But it'll give them that little status effect you can see there for a split second. It will slow them down, and it's really useful for getting people to get in your traps or easier to aim. Switch Strike. Switch Strike is this move. It just switches your place with your target. After the buffs, it's like a really high DPS move, so you really should max this one out. I was able to hit 32k damage with 1 Switch Strike if it's crit and it's on first hit because of my added multipliers. So it's like a really good build, and you should definitely either have this at 8 or have this at 10. Your next move, which is usually the most infamous move for Tricksters, is your trap move. For this one, it's pretty simple. You just place down some traps. If your opponent walks into it, they get rooted. They can still attack you, so beware, but they just can't move, so they kind of just have to take it. Sneak attack. I'm so low. I'm so low. Yeah, I'm dead. One of my favorite things to do is set down traps and then switch strike someone into the trap. And then it's just an easy kill where you spam all your abilities.
Trap him. Yeah. Ha! He's in my trap. Oh my god. Wow. He's just so tanky. I can't do anything. What did he get that shit?
And yeah. And then the last ability that you have to know about really is Disengage. So Disengage launches you backwards and it shoots homing arrows at the opponent. If you really want some good movement, you can use Disengage. I don't really recommend it, but if you aim down with Disengage and then you use it, it can give you some pretty good mobility. So these are for the people who are really scared of dying. You can just get away like that. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go over how you should put your stat points and skill points. So I'm just gonna reset my stats and reset my skills again. You should be putting 90 points in your dexterity if you want that extra crit damage. If you don't want crit damage and you're fine with just not using crit at all, like a stat stick, they can just put 70 in dexterity, but I already have plus 83 from my gear, so I'm fine. And then no matter 70 or 90, you just put the rest of it into intelligence, because that's just what all your skills are scaling off of. It's a common misconception that strength is where it scales off of. only disengage uses strength, which makes it kind of the odd one, and that's part of the reason why you don't really want to use it, but I'll get back into that later. Alright, so this is basically the stat build you want to go for. Obviously, you can put more into intelligence. It's like very welcome, especially for a PVE build. Okay, for adventure, you definitely put points into double slash. Since your attack scale off intelligence, you want to use mana missile over, something else, but I don't really use it anyways. Regeneration is also useful, and rock throw is just trash as well. Honestly, I only ever use regeneration, and that's when I'm out of consumables. For your hunter abilities, you just want to put you put 1 point into double jump because that's just a good passive. Then you have to max out Jade Barrage, because Jade Barrage is probably one of the most essential parts of your entire build. No matter if you're a PvP Trickster or a PvE Trickster, it just makes up for the lack of DPS that a Trickster moveset has. Then you put in Mushpoc, and Mushpoc is really good just for movement. Honestly, it's a physical attack, so you're not really going to be using it for anything else. Jade Barrage is also a magical attack, so it could be a magical or a physical attack, but if you're using it as a magical attack, so it'll definitely be one of your main abilities, because it does like 2k per little thing, and it hits a lot of times, so it's really good with crit. Mushpoc, again, just for movement. Alright. And the rest of your points you put into execute, but you don't use it. It's a physical attack, and it's not much damage. And, okay, for the Trickster book, if you're going PvE, PvE or PvP, you definitely max out Bubble Burst. It's, like, essential. Then after this, it's kind of iffy between these two. If you want to, you can go like me and then just put like all 10 of your stat points into Prism Trap, and then just put 8 into Spit Strike, and then completely ignore Disengage because you already have Mushpoc for movement. You could do this if you want to, but you can also do it the reverse way, where you put 8 into Prism Trap, and then 10 into Spit Strike. And, of course, you want Jade Barrage there. Alright. So. Now, we're gonna move on to gear. So. Essential, again, Dragon Grunt Headband. So without it, your little bubble burst goes from 3 puny little bubbles that deal damage to a monstrous attack that shoots out a ton of bubbles at once. It's like a shotgun. I'll have to show you out in the open. They move faster. They might do a little less damage per hit, but they do so much damage combined, it's actually insane. This is probably one of your main ways to get damage on. And it's like a really wide spread and only a 1 second cooldown, so this will be your main spam move. Anyways, then you have your Grizzly Armor. So the really good thing about Grizzly Armor is that it gives you this perk, this ability that makes you go faster, and it makes you have more damage. So it's very useful, especially when you're just trying to DPS things. Okay. You can use Vampiric Vest. Vampiric Vest is generally for when you have above 60% crit, and I obviously don't. I have 25% crit, so I'm not using Vampiric Vest. Vampiric Vest only becomes worth it once you're above that 60% crit. Below it, Grizzly Armor is just the best one for you. Other than Grizzly Armor, a cost-effective one, I mean, Grizzly Armor by itself is already cost-effective. Just a full Ank 1 normal costs you about 150 gold. So, like, You can go Jonan Vest if you like. Some people like it because of that speed boost that you can get, and it's more simple to them than just clicking a button over and over again every few seconds. But in my opinion, it's just better to use Grizzly Vest. But you know, people have their opinions, and I can't really change that for them, so it's fine. For boots, it used to be Dweller boots, but the 2x walk speed is not as good as 2 stamina because it just gives you so much more mobility to jump around, spam abilities, and do all that stuff, while 2+ walk speed isn't nearly as valuable. So cowboy boots are definitely better, even after the nerf. You definitely want, for your bow, is 100% you need Keen Jade bow, because this is what gives you this ability. Without it, your ability is just kind of lackluster. It just looks like this. And that's just, oh yeah, I don't have a bow, but it shoots at 3 arrows normally, and it's just not very good. It's just so much better just to use your Jade Barrage, and then it does so much more damage. And it's just a huge dot effect that you can just leave on the ground, which is really nice. After that, you also just want to full keen it and full ank this. Dragon Grunt Headband, for more cost effective, you should full ank this as well. Intelligence or Dexterity. And for pristine Grizzly Armor, I recommend you fully dex it and get that Swift modded so you can resell it later for higher value. Don't mind the fact that this is a Fierce Jade Dagger. Someone sold me a mystery mod and I rolled the wrong thing. But yeah, so for this one I'd recommend Keen and then fully anking it. The only reason that I have these two here is because I got that +10 critical chance, and I wanted that on my build because in my opinion it's very nice for this move because all the attacks that it does, it just makes it nice for critical chances to hit like that and that. But these ones can go for pretty pricey and they might not just be worth it to you. So I'd definitely recommend it just to go Keen and full Ancient Int because there's alternatives. Alright, so other than, you know, of course the obvious ones, this Jade Dagger, you can always switch it out for something like a Starstream Dagger, which gives you a really nice Starpo ability. Starpo basically leaves a poison cloud after you dash forward and is really nice. And another one you can use is a Shank, which can instantly kill people below 40% health, but that's only if like you're going for PvP, because other than that it's pretty useless. Now, we can talk about Jade scrolling, but in my opinion, Jade scrolling, it will set you back like 400 gold, and Ancient scrolling is good, if not better, for the price that you get it at. Once you're endgame and you have like an extra platinum to spend, you can go for that, you can go for the Jade scrolling. But just for a normal Trickster, I'm assuming that you're not like pouring every single last heart and soul into this. Like, this whole build here will cost you like 1 platinum, possibly. So like, that's all, like, it's relatively cheap. And if you want to make it more expensive for yourself, or you just need it, then you can just go fully Jade scroll. That's like final end game level stuff. But I'm not quite interested in that yet because it's just better for me and for most people to go for fully Ancient scrolled. Anyways, that about wraps up this whole thing about Trickster. Trickster is a mainly AoE DPS class. I can show you some footage of me doing this in a Mush Apocalypse dungeon because that's generally where I like Trickster to shine. And yeah, if you have any questions, put them down in the comments, and I'll see you later. Oh, you're still here? Well, that's fine. And I'm gonna die right now, so I'm just gonna cut to footage. Anyways, guys, that's enough for today's video. Thanks for watching my Trickster guide, and I will constantly update. In the comments, I'll post the Discord link for the guide on Discord threads. See ya.